Desire fulfilled. I use this gospel, John chapter 4, as an example a couple weeks ago when I was invited to be on a panel of religious leaders on campus. And it was a unique setting because the topic, part of Q Chat, was religion and homosexuality and transgender identity. And so what does your faith teach about this? And how do you serve people who experience this? And so I said, we learn from Jesus. That Jesus encounters this woman who feels disconnected from the rest of the people. That you don't go to the middle of the day at the hottest time to get water. You go in the morning. But because she felt disconnected from the other people in town, that she went then. Jesus meets her where she's at. He asks her questions. He listens. He tries to understand her. She feels the love and she runs off changed because of the experience. I said, so in the Catholic tradition, we meet and love all people unconditionally. We try to understand them. We try to ask them questions. We walk with them, love them, as we all strive to become more and more like Christ. This gospel is given to us to reveal how Jesus wishes to meet all of our desires. That our deepest desires, God knows, God kind of, in a sense, put them there and knows how to fulfill them. And so I want to kind of walk you through this gospel. First, the Samaritan woman encounters Christ in her desire. Every one of us has thoughts, feelings, and desires. God knows that. As we get in touch with what I desire, it becomes a path to encounter God. So even something as simple as, I really want to pass the class that I'm a little behind in right now. You know? I want this relationship to work out. I want my parents to get along better. I want to have enough money to pay for food this week. You know, like even the simplest desires or the biggest desire. I want to do something meaningful with my life. I want to be happy. That somehow the invitation that as I become aware of it and I kind of talk to God about it. That somehow there's an ability to encounter Christ. That this woman is just going for water, a basic human need. And she encounters Christ there. That Christ encounters her there. And so my first point here is that our desires are nothing to be scared of, but there's something that we want to acknowledge and bring to the Lord. And as she does that, the Lord begins to provide some understanding. That as he asks questions, as he talks to her, he begins to open up her life to her. That in examining her own desires in the light of God and talking to him about them, she comes to know herself better. One example for this, when I was discerning priesthood, one of the biggest things was, it's like, well, I don't want to be a priest because I don't want to be lonely. Like, I come from a family of 5 kids. I want to be married. I just always assume that. I don't want to be lonely. And so I was talking to God about that in prayer. I was like, I don't think you're calling me to be a priest. I don't want to be a priest because I don't want to be lonely. And as I talked to the Lord about it, he kind of said, I just felt this question kind of come to me of, well, are you lonely now? And I was like, well, no. I mean, I'm not dating anyone, but I'm not lonely now. I'm just afraid that maybe for forever in the future that I might be lonely. And so in talking to the Lord about my desire, he actually revealed something about me to myself. Does that make sense? So this happens when we say, God, I really want to pass this class. And I really need this, and I want to. And then I start talking, and the reason I want to is because I really want to do this thing and help people. But really, I want to help people. And so I don't have to necessarily do this thing. I mean, I want to, but I don't need to. I just want to help people. And so that's maybe the deeper desire. It's like, wow, I guess it doesn't matter. If I don't pass this class, it doesn't mean I can't help people. Maybe it means this isn't the path, and that's okay. I don't need to do this, or actually, I don't even really like doing this. And why am I doing this? Or I really want to do this, and even if I fail this class, I'll take it again because I'm determined, because this is what I really want to do. So if you could follow my dizzy logic there, in examining our desires, we become more known to ourselves. What is it I really desire? It's kind of like sometimes after a breakup or something, people are like, I want to get back together. God, I'll never ask you for anything else again. I just want this, And you start talking to God about it, and it's like, I just really like that one, like that really hurt. God, I'm just disappointed. I thought that was the one. I thought my search was over. I'm kind of tired, and my heart hurts. Yeah, that's all. It doesn't have to be the one. And in fact, there were some things that weren't good about it, but I just... And so can you see how things start to unpack? When I talk to God about my desire, God opens up understanding of myself. And that understanding leads to kind of my third point here, is that in that we find freedom. That when I talk to God about that person that I'm sad that we broke up, that I start to realize that I don't have to be with that person. I just really wanted to, I don't have to graduate in 4 years. I just really wanted to, my bank account wanted me to, but I don't have to. And what happens is, as we start to see some of the bigger picture, as understanding grows, our freedom grows. I don't have to do it that way.